Try to a channel of light fluid. We're back with journaling. It has been quite a while since I last did this. Just one of the things. Oh, I should do this VN. Oh wait, this one should be done. Oh, this one needs to be doing. Oh, this had an update. And before you know it, 3 months have gone by and you haven't actually got back to the particular VN you wanted to. But we're here now. We are going to finish off day 1 in this video and do at least a chunk of day 2, if not the whole day. We'll see how things go. But that's it. If you remember, our main character was getting used to the new school. It's his first day, and that's where we left him in the middle of that. Don't worry, the infirmary's right around this corner. She pointed to a door at the end of the hall. Ah, good. We entered the infirmary, told the nurse what happened, and she made us both lay down. And then we didn't actually have a headache. She just wanted to talk about earlier today. Are you feeling any better? Yep, thanks for bringing me here. No problemo. Now, are you ready to leave? Yeah, where are we heading first? Well, that's up to you, bud. I could show you the sports field, the clubs, the halls, the cafeteria, the library. It's up to you, really. Well, why don't we start with the sports fields? Great, come this way. She hand motioned me to follow the opposite way we came from. So, you must have heard about this school before enrolling, right? A bit. Only here they love clubs and have good teachers, and that's all. Yeah, that's pretty much it, actually. This school has a shit ton of clubs, from the video game club to the free hugs club to almost anything you can imagine. Where should you join? She flashed me a full-on smile full of white pearly teeth. Oh, I didn't join any. I don't think I'd have the time either way. Lucas, you do know it's required for graduation of at least one club in your high school portfolio, right? Most people who are in the first year, since the academic load isn't as heavy as the other years. Since you're new here, you probably didn't know that, huh? Why didn't anyone tell me this? No, I just found out. Is it really a requirement? She smiled cockily. Come on, lazy pants. They're actually pretty fun. Well, when you choose them yourself. What do you mean? Oh, it's nothing. Just that since I barely passed physics last year, my family forced me to join the science club. What a pain. She just arched an eyebrow at me. You can't judge me, you're the definition of weird. Well, before we go check all the clubs, let me give you a really quick tour about the school. Amy ended up showing me where everything was in about 10 minutes. She ended up sweating a bit after the run, but maintained that smile regardless. And well, I found that she, surprisingly, was really cool. She wasn't mean without reason or made me feel bad for starting a conversation. Stop. This is the principal's office. Right now they're busy, as you can tell from the sound on the inside. 2 people were screaming inside, one of which I'm pretty sure is our homeroom teacher. But do you see this list? It's a list of every single club and their schedules. I personally recommend you the Digital Art Club, if you have a tablet or something to digitally draw on, of course. It was so much fun. We once played Pawctionary, and since we all know how to draw, it got pretty damn competitive. Nico tried to fake a heart attack so his team wouldn't lose. That was halfway through our junior year when he's actually nice. That little motherfucker. Anyways, is there a club that caught your eye? Well, let's just go with the science club for now. Well, you're more of a nerd than I thought then. But hey, it's super cool. That way we'll hang out more. I'm not really a nerd though. I just found those subjects cool. Well, you do you, I guess. Amy took her phone and read for a couple of seconds while an uneasy look invaded her face. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Lucas. My bus is going to leave any time now and I live pretty far away from you, so I really can't miss it. Hope you liked your tour. She started running down the hall, barely dodging some of the students hanging around there. Wait! She quickly reacted to my scream, halting quickly and jogging to my direction. Everything okay? Thank you for showing me around, Amy. I really appreciate it. My pleasure. Sorry for the warning again and have a nice day. You too. After she left, I actually ended up running to my house. I have to cook for the twins and I'm already starving. After some painfully slow classes, the day finally came to an end. As I'd expected, we didn't do anything interesting. We were introduced to everything we'll do in the first semester and how the grading system will operate. I mostly didn't talk to anyone, not even on my lunch break. I want to have friends. I want to have what I had before. But for some reason, I was a nervous wreck the entirety of the day, so I didn't talk to anybody. And since nobody approached me for the first half of the day, I ended up eating my ham sandwich alone. Which was extremely tasty, by the way. My cooking has gotten really decent now. After Dad died, our income significantly decreased, so Mom had to take a double shift in order to take care of my siblings and I. But she didn't earn a lot of extra money until 3 months after she took the shifts, since some stupid policy about employees and raises I didn't quite understand. What a better way to deal with debt than having no money for food on the table? The twins weren't old enough to work or do something to help the case, so that was out of the question. Ethan refused to do anything since, I'm a teen, why should I help with money? Which, considering the phase he was in, is understandable, but still a bit tactless. So in the end, Mom could only rely on me. First month I worked at a fast food place, the payment was too low and it was difficult to feed us all. So we decided to give Plan B a try, which is that I became the housewife and Mom the man of the house. Okay, weird comparison, but still, Mom's shift had changed from 9 to 5 to 8 to 8. As a direct result, Mom had no time or energy to cook, forcing me to learn the action. At the beginning, I hated it. I lost precious time where I could be with my friends, and since I had to cook for 5 people, they're all as if they were starving. It was a long and tiring process that ended in a mediocre result too. But after some time, I started to become better at it, and slowly but surely, I started to enjoy it. I mean, there's always light at the end of the tunnel, but in a specific time it's difficult to believe so. In retrospect, that was the time I was most unhappy in my whole life. My food sucked, my friends and I talked less and less, and the twins needed a dad figure in their life. I was so scared of fulfilling such high standards. I knew I was going to fail, but I still had to try. Thankfully, it all got better with time. Mom still works until pretty late, but I get to see her more often at night. Eventually became a fast and good cook. The twins even prefer my cooking over Mom's. I know she won't admit it, but I bet that she's a bit salty about it. She also likes eating my food, so it balances out. Everything's better now. I'm still hurting. It's still painful. But I'm slowly getting out of that hole. The hole that's known as depression. What a fucking bitch that is. Excuse my language. Doesn't matter anymore. I'm finally happy and that's all that matters. Well, sometimes, even in my happiness, I can't but feel sadness about my situation within my joy. Does that make any sense? Heck if I know. I want to start fulfilling the promise I made to my father. So I'm going to give writing a try again. I used to have so much fun doing it until that happened. But I want to move on. I don't know if I'm 100% ready, but I'm ready enough to try. That thought entertained me for the walk home and the cooking part. As soon as I finished eating with the twins, I excused myself to my room. My room was clean for the most part, my bed being the only part that's not immaculate. Since I don't have to share the room anymore, it looks extremely big now. It's nice having such a big room. I feel free in a way. I went to my desk and sat down, pushing my laptop from the middle to a corner. Then I grabbed a book that hasn't seen the light of day in a while. It had a dark purple cover, my favourite colour. This is my journal, the third one to be specific. Besides those books, I've had a total of 3 journals. The first one was from when I was 12. Its writing isn't the best, but I have a soft spot for it. The second journal I wrote was from when I was 14 to 16. As I said before, I didn't really have much free time then, but I still managed to write a bit on it like once a month, give or take. Then on my 17th birthday, I had the intention of starting my third journal. I made a dumb mistake. I used that book because I was, well, an idiot. And then all the problems started. That was the most painful semester I've lived in my almost 18 years of life. Allies betrayed, enemies judged, and I felt like a mere chess piece in the grand scheme of things, being manipulated without any sort of will. And all the while I didn't even know it was all a game. That's a story for another time. Anyways, after it all happened, I became scared of writing again. Actually, I didn't take any notes for at least 3 months because of it. I was that scared. My grades are proof of that. But now that I know a big part of the truth, I want to restart this part of my life that I had to bury for the sake of my sanity. Well, for many other reasons, but again, I don't want to think too much about it. Even in my own thoughts, I'm a top-tier staller. Holy moly. I took a deep breath and tried to find the strength to stop my hands from shaking so much. Pussy. A real pussy. I want to change that, and this is the first step. Nothing left to lose, I guess. I opened the book and stared at the first page. The paper was a bit raspy against my hands as I tried to write on it. My hand froze against the paper as my breath picked up. So hard. This fear is so rooted I don't think I'm scared of anything else. I forced myself to relax my tense shoulders. Just do it. Entry 1, August the 24th. Dear Diary. Today was my first day of senior year of high school. It was pretty boring. I was on my lonesome all day except for the beginning and the end of it. I was forced to introduce myself to other people as the introduction activity. They're all special in their own sense. First there's this guy called Nico. He's a cat that, from what I gathered from today, enjoys making people annoyed. He reminds me of a mischievous child. Then there's Derek. He has a bit of an ego, but he's overall the most approachable out of anyone. He's always smiling, which was nice. Then you have Zach, who I don't know much about. Looks to be the quiet, angry kid who's always frowning. Then you have Amy. I had a really weird first impression. And unfortunately not in a good way. She showed me the school at the end of the day and she wasn't as weird as before. She was actually really cool. Besides Miss Margaret, she's my first friend in almost a year. She told me she was forced to join the science club since she almost failed last year. I ended up venturing into the book every single word that came to mind. It felt good to get the thoughts out of my head. I know it's a bit dumb, but I felt like a part of me I had long lost came back to me after I'd finished writing. It's been a long time since I felt this fulfilled. Today, the new era of Lucas Noir starts. Tomorrow I'll make friends and be a normal teen again. No more little bitch boy. With a smile on my face, I closed the book and lay down on my bed. I fell asleep before I could even think of it. Day 2, August 25th. The classroom was extremely noisy despite being very early in the morning. The sun was warming me through the window, pleasantly relaxing my facial muscles. After the revelation I had yesterday, I realised I wasn't really living like I wanted to. I was a mere shell of a man. Well, I think it's about time I grow up. What was my first move, you may ask? I slept for a good 13 hours. Which is a new record for me, by the way. Because of this, I ended up waking up a little bit before my alarm, took advantage of the situation, decided to shower and thoroughly work on my appearance. It felt good. Well, it's not that I usually have bad hygiene, in fact quite the opposite. I pride myself on my cleanliness. But for the first time in what feels like years, I really tried to look my best. It had been too long since I looked in the mirror and I didn't get depressed to some extent. I felt so refreshed. I still do, actually. Now all I need to do is find an interesting topic of conversation to start the plan Cool Me. I've been pondering about it for a bit, trying to find an interesting enough subject to be somewhat interesting. Unfortunately, all I can really think of is either weather or food, both of which are pretty cliché. It's harder than it looks like. I'm supposed to ask them about their family or something. Still, baby steps are better than nothing, so I'll take any victory right now. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Amy walk into the classroom with a disinterested expression. I waved at her to come over. She smiled gently at me, picking up the speed of her stride. "What's up, Lucas? You look good today." "Yeah, thank you. You're looking pretty fresh yourself." "Don't be cringe, Lucas. Speak clearly, with confidence." "Ahem. I slept like a log yesterday. I feel so renewed." I smiled sheepishly. "I can tell. You look livelier. Your eyes are bright and you look even more handsome." I tried to retain a blush. "Oh, thank you." I scratched the back of my neck. "First thing in the morning, you're already flirting with me. Am I really that irresistible?" "Oh, wait. That's not what's..." "Hilarious, Lucas." I mean, come on. I know I'm the definition of fun. If you're anything like you from yesterday, then no, absolutely not. Rude. She stuck her tongue out of her mouth. But yeah, you don't really go off the vibe of a jokester. You just look sad. Hey, that's a mean thing to say. Regardless of how true it is. She giggled. Don't forget, we just met yesterday. Never judge a book by its cover, miss. I didn't. I read around the first chapter. Well then, don't judge a book by its first chapter. Sure, know it all. She rolled her eyes, amused by my behaviour. Since the guy who sat next to me yesterday hadn't arrived, Amy took advantage and placed herself beside me. Once seated, she stood in the chair until half her body was out of it. May I ask why? She exhaled loudly. Fuck, today's going to be such a long day. Is it wrong I already want the year to be over? Some people at the front overheard the conversation and laughed at her. Luckily she took it lightly and ignored them. Considering today's the second day of the year? Yeah. But try to look on the bright side. And that is? You have your super duper fun club at the end of the day. She gasped dramatically, clutching her hand to her chest. Bitch. She turned around and gave me a nasty side look. I giggled quietly. Just you wait till, man, you're going to join a super boring club and suffer as well. And then I'll laugh in your face about it. Someone's a good sport. Salty enough? It's a joke. Come on, don't make that face. Your club does sound super duper fun. Yeah, sure, whatever. Amy stared at me for a while, then she averted her indignant gaze and sat up properly in the chair, refusing to look at me. Come on, drama queen, don't take it seriously. You're too mean to me. If you want to make it up to my false self, you have to escort me to my club after class. Is that really a oh-so-mean punishment? Wait, you're right. You still want to make it up. I don't mind escorting you there. I'll take it. She barked out a laugh. Her laugh resembled that of a seal with asthma, if that comparison makes any sense. In the nicest way possible, I think she has one of the ugliest laughs I've ever heard in my life. But hey, she doesn't need to know that. Anyway, did you finally decide on which one to join? Nope, didn't even think about it. Although I'll probably join the one that still has space. She tried to do a cute pout. It wasn't cute. Come on, dude, show more passion. Okay, so out of all the options we talked about yesterday, do you have any preferences? Nope, I told you, I'll just pick the one in Stra's room. She shrugged her shoulders disinterestedly. It's your funeral. She lost interest rather quickly. God, that's loud. I saw a strong male figure enter the classroom with a grim look. Are you all ready for today? 'Cause I for sure ain't. The day dragged on slowly without a hitch. Classes were average at best, and I had some trouble paying attention in my first period. Specifically because a certain individual kept sending me slips of paper with stupid questions. I at least got a laugh out of that. In PE class we had to read the syllabus and all those procedures we had to do yesterday, but didn't, so we didn't even leave the classroom. When Derek found out we weren't going out to the court, he looked sad. Maybe a little more than he should have. It's quite funny how his appearance doesn't fit his attitude at all. Reminds me of a puppy. I should try talking to him again. If I want to expand my social circle, I should do it with someone like him. A nice, approachable guy can probably introduce me to other cool people. No disrespect to Amy, of course. She's cool, but I don't want to have only one friend. That's just repeating the past, and, well, that ended up sucking. Before anything, I have to take Amy to a club which is a floor above this one. That'll be all for today. You're all free to go. Remember, our next class is Thursday, so be ready for some hard training. Have a nice rest of your day. She reached out for a pocket while she pulled out a small whistle. Here it comes. Loud as ever. What a pain. I heard a familiar voice groan beside me. Hey, Lucas. Yes? I have made a tough decision to not go to my club today. Oh? It's a really tough choice. Don't look at me like that. Skipping a class, such a hard choice. The hardest. On another note, why don't we go get some ice cream? It's a really nice place behind the school. And to top things off, it's my treat. What about that? Her eyes glittered hopefully. Something called this hour does sound appealing, actually. Perfect. That doesn't mean you can skip your class, Amy. It is still quite literally the second day. But, nope, I'll take you to your classroom before you convince me to go. A cherry-flavoured ice cream sounds so good right now, though. Oh, or maybe mango. I could just drop her off and then go myself. That would be mean, but she wouldn't know. Did I even bring money with me? Come on, let's go. Where's your smile now, you trick? I started walking to force her to follow me. Ah, Lucas, I'm coming. Sheesh. Shall we get going then? Ladies first. I motioned towards the stairway. I saw her hesitating right before the first step. I think we should... Start moving, Pipsqueak. More people here than I'd expected. Well, classes are over. There's not much science behind that. Hehe, science, get it? Oh, what I meant is there are a lot more people here compared to yesterday. It's mostly likely because of the clubs. The rector's office is going to be packed with people who want to change activities because of the trial week and all that. Trial week? Yeah, I mean, the name kind of explains it all, stupid. Rude. I didn't know about this. Oh yeah, you are new. I keep forgetting. You can do whatever you want this week, basically. Just report any changes to the principal for Monday. Simple as that. You know, a trial week. Gotcha. Heh, you're eventually going to have to do that queue, you know. Mine is even drawing onto this floor. She swayed her hips from side to side, trying to look innocent. I think. It sucks to suck, doesn't it? I rolled my eyes. Yeah, sure. I'll probably finish before your clubs anyway. How long was it again? 2 or 3 hours? God, I certainly hope not more than one. We'll find out eventually. Let's get going before you're late. Don't think I have a note you trying to stall with your slow-ass pace. Can you blame me, though? Hey, stop. Wait for me. We got to the 5th floor quickly, especially since Amy stopped making pet excuses or pointless conversation. The noise that was being made on the other floors could still be heard even up here, which is impressive. I feel pretty bad for the poor headmaster. We are a lot of people here in the school. I might just go next Monday to avoid that line, with the excuse I got confused and lost since I'm new and dumb. Sounds like a plan. Unfortunately, what I can't postpone are the club activities. Lucas, can you give me my backpack? Amy whispered with a gaze on the ground, not acknowledging how I suddenly got lost in thought. Sure, sorry. Do you think I'll get in trouble if I don't go to the principal's office this week? I really don't feel like making such a long line. Eventually you'll have to. You probably noticed the first week tends to get really chaotic when it comes to clubs. Especially on Fridays, since everyone left their registration at the very last minute. I bet she was definitely one of those lazy people who did on the last possible day. She ended up waiting 3 hours to get through. Predictable. And since the school transport already left, I had to go by metro. She shuddered. I hate it. At any moment someone's going to jump me. And don't let me get started on the smell. The subway smells so putrid. Her tiny nose scrunched in disgust. Are you scared of the subway then? It's not exactly fear. It just sucks. Anyways, you see how the school is in the southwest of the state. I wasn't sure, but I nodded anyway. I live in the northeast, about 5 minutes from the border with New York. It's really far from here. You would think New Jersey had a high school closer to the New York border, right? No, this is the closest one to my house. What a pain. She cleared her throat. Sorry, I got off topic a bit. But since you're a new student, I guess you could get away with going next week. In fact, I recommend it. Standing in line 3 hours after class is worse than a 2-minute scolding. You may end up getting in trouble, yes, but you should still do it. Yeah, I'll decide later, but thanks for your opinion. Yeah, anyways, this is your classroom, right? I think the teacher is staring at you. It was our homeroom teacher. Huh, how did he get you without us noticing? He's staring at you with quite the mean face. There are a grand total of 5 people in the classroom, one of them being Zach, the wolf who sits in front of me in normal classes. Which club did you say you enrolled in? Science? I have mentioned it several times. No, silly. What I mean is if the club is for all sorts of sciences or only for abstract sciences. Oh, I have no idea. She gave me a sheepish smile. She scratched her neck. Why didn't you find out? As you can see, we're very few people here. Having you here would help it grow. She loudly gasped. Now then, think about it. Why don't you join? Having in high grades and we'll be able to hang around together. Oh, I'm not so sure. Hey, come on, don't give me that look. Listen, I'm going to walk around and see if anything catches my eye. If nothing seems good enough, I'll come here to make you company, all right? She seemed to think about it for a bit before shrugging. I'll take it. Do you have my phone number? I think I gave it to you yesterday. Yeah, I think so. Well, if it helps you with the decisions, just know that if you come to this club with me, you'll make me a very happy person. But as much as I don't want to say it, it's also okay if you don't want to join. Don't feel forced to choose this. Just feel heavily inclined. All right, thanks. I got in there before that vein popped out of his forehead. She turned around to look at Dick. You could see him with a pissed expression. The vein was palpitating off his forehead vigorously. Freaky. Goodbye, loser. Thanks for taking me here. She rolled her eyes and stuck her tongue out at me. When she entered the classroom, I could answer. God, why have all the possible students you had to be here? Excuse me? I'm a very good student. Your voice is going to give me a migraine. I'm calling it. I walked away from the door while they bickered. There isn't a single person who thoroughly enjoys her presence. Not even the teachers put up with her. Well, I don't mind, of course. We are cool. Well, even the use of being awkward about something I thought of when no one else is even around me. I spent too much time alone last year. Anyway, I remember correctly, the list of activities must be on the first floor. Well, 5 flights of stairs, here we go. So, out of all the options Amy mentioned yesterday, most of them were sports. I'm going to probably see the list. I think I'll just go with my gut. I think I remember Amy mentioned there's a track team. I'm heavily in favour of choosing that. The only bad thing is the solitary activity and I need to be social. So should I choose a sports team? The problem with the sports team is the people in there tend to have a sticker stuck up their ass. And a massive ego. But I would end up hanging around with loads of people. And statistically it's pretty likely I end up with at least one friend. Okay, but the club must also be something I at least tolerate. As long as it's not something that makes me die of embarrassment, I'll be fine. Like dancing. I have 2 left feet. Maybe they'll teach me to twerk. I'll just make a fool out of myself as usual. Or wherever I choose and have too many people. It's easier to talk to one person than less in total. Don't think I have a chance to be picky though. A total of 4 days to choose. Today, tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. Well, 3 since I want to rest on Friday. Plus I promised to make the twins chicken nuggets and that takes a long time for the frying part. My pans all end up fucked up from the burning oil, but their little smiles at the end makes it worth it. Phew, I finally arrived. There's a list glued in front of some lockers. Oh, let's see. This has a lot of clubs, half of which have the name of complimentary. Oh my god, who did this? There are a shit ton of stickers and the topography is so small it's not even readable. The only legible text is a note at the corner. Complimentary courses are shorter and lighter in terms of student charge. You can only take these courses if you've already completed a course before. Guess you can also take both the main club and a complimentary one. That sounds a bit too much for me. There are around 100 clubs in total, only 50 of them were not complimentary. Well, what am I going to go with? Well, after our experience with dodgeball, probably not. I said he wasn't sure about the track team, basketball. If it was a rugby option, I would go with that. But this is the states we're talking about. It's not so popular. I guess we will just make Amy happy. Let's check out the science club. Well, I don't think I want to do something physical since cooking in the afternoon tires me quite a bit. Yeah, cooking after training sounds like a big no. Leaves me the science club as the best remaining option. Doesn't sound that bad actually. Science can be really fun with a good teacher, and Amy will be there as well too. It'll help me improve my grade as well. Well, it's decided then. I headed to the 5th floor at a fast pace. A bit scared of what the teacher could say. He saw me drop Amy off, then leave. And just say I went to the bathroom. I arrived at the 5th floor without breaking a sweat. This floor was now devoid of life, complete and utter silence in the hall. Nice. The door of the room was open, but I still knocked on it anyways. When Amy saw me knock on the door, her eyes glittered and she waved at me. The professor didn't hear me, though. "Excuse me, Dick, someone's waiting at the door."
"It's Professor for you."
He grunted and looked at me, frowning. He gave me a ghost of a smile.
"Good to see more people come here. Welcome, kid."
Amy squealed. The professor turned to look at her and narrowed his gaze on her oblivious self.
"You girl, come here."
He walked over to his desk, then patted the seat where Nico usually resides, which is right in front of him. Amy was currently sitting in the same place as she did in normal classes, last row, middle seat. "But I haven't done..."
"Nope, that's a bit. Now come here before I make you noisy brat."
Almost everyone in the room cowered at his thunderous command that was only directed towards Amy. You know, she looked ready to shit herself. I would have laughed had I had the balls. "Yes, sir." She quickly grabbed her stuff and sat where instructed, not even glancing at me. Is he even allowed to talk to students like that?
"Well, you're just going to stand there? Come in."
He tried sounding enthusiastic, but failed miserably. His tone was rather weird. I felt bored, yet annoyed, while trying to sound energetic. I was going to go to my window seat now. I was walking and I recognised a girl sitting in the exact middle of the room. The popular girl from yesterday that caught me staring at her friends first thing in the morning. Yikes.
"You're in my senior class, right? I remember you. What was it again? Lucas, right?"
"My name is Lucas, sir." I tried answering softly, hoping not to anger him. He just shrugged his shoulders.
"Well, welcome to the science club, kid. Hope you enjoy your stay."
Thank you, sir." I smiled politely. "Sorry about arriving late. It won't happen again. But, well, I'm excited to start the club." I bowed my head slightly.
"Oh, really? Didn't even look at the chalkboard in our physics class today."
"Oh, I learned better by ear." I'm going to be taking my seat now. I ducked and went to my window seat. He chuckled in amusement.
"Alrighty then."
The professor quickly explained how the club would operate. The semester was going to be divided by 3, and each bimester would be doing investigations about a different subject. Physics, biology and chemistry being subjects in rotation. And with that he resumed the lesson. Sometime later... The sky is really pretty today. I completely ignored the lecture as I admired the scenery. Then as some time passed I heard a voice from in front of me mumble,
"Why are you here?"
"Sheesh, nice to see you too, bud." "Well, I like science. I wouldn't be here otherwise." He took some moments to answer back.
"Didn't you say yesterday you didn't like sciences?"
"I did? I don't remember actually. I didn't say I disliked sciences, just that I prefer something else. I didn't want to join any club, but since I had to, I chose this one." He didn't respond. There's a slight change in his physiology. He very slightly untensed his shoulders as he took notes on the subject on the blackboard. A subject I'm 100% ignoring. Some of the sciences are fun. I smiled slightly. He couldn't see my face from the angle he was at, but hopefully he'd catch my cheerful tone. I expected him to answer me to keep the conversation going, but he kept quiet. So I just take another approach to the situation. You know, I wasn't really into abstract sciences until recently. I had to tutor my brother because he was, well, an idiot. His worst subject was chemistry. I ended up wasting hours and hours trying to teach an old dog some new tricks. Wait, does that count as racism? I have no idea. I still have no clue how he graduated from his freshman year. We ended up drifting apart around a year ago. As a result, I had more free time and, well, I found it actually quite interesting. The wolf looked as if he was ignoring me. I could see his ear was slightly tilted in my direction. I admire people who can do that, moving their ears off in their own accord. It gives me chills every single time. "Oh no, I think so." He didn't answer. The reason is kind of ironic now I think about it. They are definitive proof that we are real, that we are predictable. Better said, science is a proof that we've just followed a pre-established path for all of our lives. But the information gathered over the years is proof there's a very slim chance we can alter the original plans of life with the goal of taking advantage of it. Evolution, in fewer words. Food, our sleep schedule, our ability to communicate. These are clear examples how one small variable changes our entire future in an instant. It's weird thinking about it. We are predictable until a small variable slightly changes. Then the future of the entire species is changed forever by that small, meek variable. I didn't realise that at one point I lost my gaze in the sky. When I look back, I saw Zach staring at me, completely ignoring the front now. Shit, what was I even talking about? Sorry, I have so many thoughts, it's difficult to explain. What I want to get to. I took a deep breath. In retrospect, we know almost nothing about us or about the Earth. Only our previous changes are the mere supposition of what might happen in the future. But science makes me realise we do know some things, and experimenting with those things is looking for the truths about our role on this planet. Because, are our lives really that linear? We evolve because of not being linear, though. Once I finished my attempt at being philosophical, I couldn't help but blush, embarrassed by my capability to communicate. I constantly write it. Here I am making a fool out of myself because I want to explain multiple ideas at once. My God, I've probably been saying so much bullshit without realising it. Yeah, I'm probably just rambling. He turned around to the front again. I heard his rough, quiet voice speaking to me. You're more talkative than I thought. His voice didn't have any negative emotion. It was just a neutral statement. What can I say? I'm full of surprises. Ha! I'm as one-dimensional as it gets. Well, you are on this clever reason, right? I try to explain my reason. Don't you think it's fair you tell me your motive too? The professor was unaware of this conversation. That itself was actually a bit strange. With very few people here, so you think it'd be easy to hear if someone was talking. Zach snorted before turning to his notebook again, taking notes. His handwriting was really neat, a soft calligraphy style displayed on the notebook. You know, you spoke more about the philosophical side of things. Science is... We live in an ever-changing scheme whose underlying rules are generally driven by instincts. An example, we grow, we reproduce, we die. Science not only establishes that rule, but as time goes on it also modifies it. We learn, we adapt. You and I talking here, we are living proof of more than a linear pattern like you said before. One day I will know the limits of our nature. The first time since I met him, which was quite literally yesterday, I saw him smiling. A very small one, but it still counts as one at the end of the day. It's a bit funny, don't you think, our predicament? He frowned. We're naturally driven by instincts, we know that. Can we change these instincts and natural patterns ourselves? What is the correlation with your fate as a species and evolution? Is there a God above that determines this? I already know the answer to that, but I don't want to seem delusional in front of him. Religion and science are not related. Religion is merely an excuse for mediocre people to find purpose. Maybe, but... The words got stuck in my mouth, but I refused to stop talking. The idea is there's more to us than just instincts. It's like saying that we are not animals. At the end of the day, leaving aside natural selection and all that, we are just animals. And that's the called unfiltered truth. Life is simple for wild fauna. They have the objective of reproducing and surviving. We're not that far off from them. We have simple goals and simple futures. We are animals, but the reason you and I are here is a mere mistake. Was the initial evolution just that? A fluke? Or did some sort of God bestow their power on us to correct fate? Fate. I don't even know anymore. The subject about life and death was one I talked about frequently with my brother. He would say that our existence was a flaw from our ancestors. He was quite passionate about it too. Meanwhile, I defended the complete opposite point, telling him that life was more like a gift. He called me a pussy and laughed. After he left, I began pondering about the way he thought. Mortifyingly enough, he wasn't that far off from reality. I want to know everything about our nature. I refuse to believe it was a fluke or some god took mercy on us. I wish to know the truth. As you can see, I find the subject to be mind-blowing. I felt butterflies in my stomach, passionately explaining my feelings about this. Feelings that are a complete mess. I hate talking about this, yet I can't help but get excited. I couldn't stop my mouth from speaking every single thought in my mind. How much do we change when we evolve? What is conserved and what is not? Where is the absolute limit of change? I took a deep breath. There was a short moment where I saw him thinking, shaking his head slightly, robotically organising his thoughts. I haven't let such philosophical thoughts out of my mind for a long time. It feels good to think in that way again. I didn't think expressing myself would be this difficult, though. Let's hope he doesn't judge me so harshly. It's such a naive thought to think our limit is What are we talking about? Amy practically screamed, causing the four people up front to turn around. Turns out she'd been dragging her seat from the front row since the teacher turned around. I don't know if I should be scared or amazed she didn't make any noise at all. What's all that sound at the back of the class? He turned around and saw Amy's desk in the middle of the room while she was sticking her head in our direction. To say he looked pissed would be an understatement. You had 10 seconds to get your real seat. Or else. She flew to the front row, grabbed a new desk and positioned herself where she had to. In a spawn of like 3 seconds, of course. The power of fear, am I right? You entered this club willingly, so shut up and pay attention. She's trembling. 20 minutes later. See you in 10 minutes. Go stretch your legs whatever you can do in 10 minutes. Wait, don't do whatever you want. No drugs or alcohol in the institution. What about sex? The student smugly asked. The teachers looked at him in disbelief. You can find someone with standards low enough to do you, then yeah, you can. Not only will you be allowed to do it, I'll even give you $100. That's how confident I am that you won't be getting any bitches today, nor tomorrow, nor the month after that, nor the year after that. Maybe in a decade you can try bribing someone into it, but even then it'll be faked. He just murdered him out of nowhere. The kid looks like he's about to cry. Anyway, as soon as the class ended, Amy ran to the door, probably scared out of her mind. Look at what I just witnessed, maybe I should be too. Thankfully, the tense atmosphere settled down once her classmate Brooke, the popular chick from yesterday, told him she was going to buy him some ice cream. For the massive burn he received. He chuckled while scratching his neck, then they both left. Soon after that, I saw Zach walking quietly out of class with his hands in his pockets. Oh, wait for me. I trotted next to him. Yes. Well, Amy went somewhere. And I kind of want to be near someone. We don't have to talk, just being in someone else's presence helps me. I gave him a toothy grin. He shrugged his shoulders and took his cell phone out of his pocket. You know what? I'll take it. I'm being social. I'm getting out of my comfort zone. Am I cheering myself too much? Which is an example of how to be positive with yourself. I know I said I was going to bother you anymore, but where exactly are we going? There's a bench further down the hall. Being on the 5th floor, there's not much noise here. Sometimes I rest here. Oh cool, I'm also a fan of places where aren't many people. My old school is a huge tree that grown so big that its leaves cover the rooftop from the sun. My friends and I would hang out there from time to time. It's almost therapeutic. We had to find a replacement here at this school. I don't think there's a place like that. Everywhere you go, noisy people will be there. Damn. I miss my other school a bit if I'm honest. No, that's not true. I miss what I had back then, not the school itself. Potato, potato. What about you? Do you like this school? If I remember correctly, you mentioned this wasn't your first year here. He shrugged his shoulders. Being here gives you a good resume, surprisingly. That's been mentioned to me a couple of times, and I still don't believe it. Because the 2 teachers I have are both aggressive. Oh, which college are you going to? He shrugged his shoulders and avoided eye contact. I waited for his answer, but it didn't come. Well, I plan to stay near the city to help my mom. He yet again gave no response or acknowledgement. You said you were your brother's tutor, right? I smiled involuntarily. Yeah, he's our age. Also have two other siblings. They're twins and recently turned 8 years old. It's a boy and a girl. Then the one our age is called Ethan. He's on an abroad program. My voice trembled, but he didn't seem to care. God, I'm such a liar. He won't be back anytime soon. I coughed and lost my feelings and took deep, steady breaths to calm down. The point is, I want to be around to help if she need it. She has a bad habit of hiding everything, so I leave and know she won't tell me if there's a problem. Hey, all for the family, right? He answered me with silence. So, tell me, Zed. Do you mind if I call you Zed, by the way? Yes. What about Zaki? No. Wacky Zaki? No. Wait, look very closely, you can see the ghost of a smile. Wacky Zaki? No. The little smile belied his words. Under the bench where his tail rested. Huh, it's moving, that's so cute. Does he like silly nicknames? What about Zack and Cheese? His tail didn't stop wagging, actually picking up the pace. That is the dumbest thing I've heard. Your tail says otherwise, sir. Do you like silly nicknames? He grimly smiled. They remind me of my sister. Oh, what did she call you? No. Come on, we've come this far already. How hard is it if you'd say a little nickname? I bet she called you Balzac. He rolled his eyes. Shut up. For a moment I thought he was actually mad since he stood up and started walking away. His tail was wagging faster now. Imagine how she calls him that. That would be so funny. Wait, where are you going? You talk so much the break is over, haven't you noticed? I took out my cell phone to check the time. Indeed, the 10 minutes already passed. Zach walked ahead of me, decided that waiting was too much of a hassle. We were back in class in no time. Well, we didn't talk, not even small talk. It was mostly because I stopped talking. I mean, I feel like if I force him to hang out with me, he's going to get mad, considering he really likes this club. And so I didn't force it. The last hour, nothing interesting occurred. The twins texted me to bring some cereal from the store because we'd run out of it. Got to leave them something cooked, and since they didn't want to eat leftovers, they assaulted the cereal. I'd be mad, but 8-year-old me would have probably done the same thing. Also, Amy didn't come back from the break. The belongings were nowhere to be seen. The day is finally over, I exhaled. You did not pay attention. I did, I swear. But yeah, I'm beat. I'm glad we talked today. I was itching to hang out with you. Why? Why not? He didn't say anything. He just kept walking to the exit of the school. You aren't as chaotic as everyone else. I had fun talking with you. Hope we can resume our previous talk some other time. He shrugged his shoulders, but his very slow wagging tail betrayed him. It had a really cool fur pattern, little rays of red in the edges of its dark form. Part of me wanted to stroke it. That'd be really weird. As if noticing my stare, he started walking slightly tilted, so it was now harder to see it. We reached the gate of the school quickly. Hey, if you want, you can add me on Pawpluk. Just search for Lucas Noir. He yet again remained silent. Have a nice day. I excused myself and started the walk to my house. Have a nice... God, what a long day. I walked with a steady pace, this dusk slowly creeping into the scenery. Didn't think it would take so much energy to be more social. I think I admire extroverts now. Either way, today was really interesting. I started my first club activity today. Along with that, I found I have this whole week to test as many clubs as I want. I was also told that clubs are semi-annual, not annual, so in theory I only have to worry about the first half of the year about clubs. Which is a good thing, I think. Today was the first day I finally decided to be more positive compared to my usual self. My goal is to be more social, laugh more, spread good vibes, all that stuff. I think I did decently. It wasn't perfect, but step by step. I think I should push myself in my comfort zone a bit more, Or I think I'll go find more people to hang around with. I feel like an elementary school kid repeating my mind over and over I'm going to do to not forget it. God, my elementary school days. My fur was just starting to take shape back then, so I looked incredibly misshapen. Besides, my hair flopped down to my nose for some reason, giving me an emo look I certainly didn't want. The good thing was Mom was always incredibly patient with me and cut my hair with tender love. We bonded a lot there, actually. God, my Mom's the best. I should cook her something she likes someday. Maybe I could on Friday. I mean, I'm cooking the chicken nuggets for the kids, might as well cook something for her as well. I could make her my famous onion soup, it's one of her favourites. Oh, or maybe I can take her to a fancy restaurant. She'd really like going with Dad to those. I should have the money and the clothes too. Maybe I can put my brother's jackets on. One of them had shrunk massively because the idiot didn't know how to put the washing machine correctly. What a dumbass. I always look good on black. Yeah, I'm going to try it on when I get home. Last time I wore leather, I think, was 4 Halloweens ago. Ethan was being cringe saying I was too old for trick and treat, so his dad, the 4-year-old twins, and little old me. Since I kind of tagged along to the last second, I didn't have a costume, so I just grabbed one of his jackets, combed my hair with olive gel, and frowned. I said I was an 80s motorcycle gang leader. I probably didn't look like that, but that was the idea. I think I have some photos saved. I'll check them out when I get home. Speaking of, I should pick up my pace before it gets completely dark. I ran for a bit before arriving home. I announced my arrival, but no one answered me. Oh, the twins probably fell asleep waiting for me. Poor kids. Max? Lily? I knocked on their door lightly, but I received no response. I looked inside their room where I saw them huddled together. A smile instinctively rose to my face. Cute. I closed their door carefully and headed to my own room. Home at last. I dropped my backpack onto the feet of the door frame. I went to my closet where I found my brother's jacket with some accumulated dust on it. I think a good shake won't take away. I pushed it away from me and gave it a good shake. I extended my arms and rotated the coat in different angles. Hey, I think it would fit. I'm going to try it out. I walked into the bathroom and took off all my clothes, besides my underwear, of course. There I was met with my reflection. My reflection was misleading, to say the least. My fur made me look puffier, almost buff. Little under my recommended weight, but I dissimulated it well. It's also pretty weird. The first side of my waist downwards was on the shorter side. But both my neck and shoulders looked bigger due to the amount there. I turned around, still inspecting myself in the mirror. I got some nice legs. My calves look big and strong thanks to my walks. My butt isn't too bad either. It's not the best, but it ain't the worst. Intrigued, I squeezed my right glute. The buttock was a bit bigger than my extended hand. Then my gaze fell into my tail. I still have to trim it. It's occupying far too much space. Why does it go past my calf? It's supposed to be around my upper thigh in length. Do Arctic foxes have bigger tails than regular foxes? I've no idea. Lucas, are you here? I'm hungry. Ah, don't come in. Occupied, occupied. Max rubbed his eyes tidy while holding a ladybug plush standing by the door. Why are you naked? Go. Why didn't you knock? I quickly covered my crotch with a towel. Of course, today of all days I had to wear tight underwear. We didn't see something that's going to scare him for life. Lucas, are you in there? No, don't come in. She ignored me and walked into the room. Why are you naked? Okay, off we go. I kicked him out of the bathroom and locked the door behind me. I couldn't stop flushing as my face burned in embarrassment. I'm going to act as if that never happened. What if I was doing my business there? Kids. Apparently they were hungry and heard me close the door. I spent the last hour cooking them dinner. They're lucky I love them. Marinating the meat and making preparations on Sunday makes food super easy to prepare for the rest of the week. I don't die of fatigue in the afternoons due to it. People greatly underestimate how tiresome cooking can be. The twins as always thank me for the food and talk to me about their day. Lily is quiet for the most part, while Max described in excruciating detail what they saw at school today. I miss when class is about how to hold scissors correctly. But no, I have to learn about differential calculus and derivative functions. Unfair world that we live in. I'm curious to find out what the difficulty will be in our exam period. Pretty is going to be difficult to some degree. I mean, they must have gotten their reputation from somewhere. I tucked the kids in and headed to my room. Mom should be arriving soon. It's really late. Even though they're ready to sleep, the twins will most likely wait for Mom. They prefer to be tucked in by her since I'm a bad storyteller, apparently. I hurt my writer's ego a bit. Time flew today, most likely due to the club. Ended up having fun, so I guess it was worth it. Well, it's best to put all school stuff aside and rest for the remainder of the day. I have to write in my journal after all. I grabbed my journal and sat on my cold bed. Guess I should start with the beginning of the day. Dear Diary, today was the first day of my new plan. It's a mere change of attitude, but for me it was a big deal. I mean, I think it worked pretty well. Amy said I looked better today. She's funny, but still pretty weird. I don't want to guess, but I feel like she might have bipolar disorder of some sorts. One moment she's normal, then the other she's pissed. Anyways, I'm not here to gossip about her, so moving on. I can confidently say that today was a significantly better day than yesterday. I'm excited for the rest of the week, to be honest. But I can't forget a very important rule of mine. If you expect disappointment, any small victory will feel like winning a war. The original saying was different, but I can't remember it, LMAO. Besides all that, I ended up trying the clubs that were mentioned to me so much. And well, I ended up having way more fun than I'd expected. Met a lot of interesting people. I feel like I fit in better. I'm very excited about this year. Looking forward to choosing a college major and seeing my growth in this upcoming year. I have very high hopes. Oh, pretty little book. I'm sorry I didn't write too much on you today. I'm absolutely destroyed from such a busy day. See you tomorrow. I drew at the bottom of the page a cute bird smiling. I closed my book with conviction and a smile on my face. I'd better start doing today's homework so I can sleep faster. I think I'm going to need a lot of energy tomorrow to keep up with the plan. My day lasted about half an hour longer where I did homework quite efficiently. Then my mind wandered off to the land of dreams, where I dreamt of an incredibly hot guy. There we go. That was the end of day one and the whole of day two for a journal. So I believe we've got a couple more days to go before we get to a to be continued, and we'll see what happens after that. So that might be one or two videos. I will check into that. But there won't be any midweek videos coming up next week. But next weekend we are heading back to Burrows. And we'll be catching up on Ken's route there, seeing what's going on. So definitely more Burrows next weekend. And then we have some more Nevin and some more Infinite Space coming up in June, as well as the final chapter of Liar. We'll be doing that one before the end of the month as well. And hopefully I'll try and get back to journal maybe July. So it'll be next month. Actually, I'm recording this in May. It's very confusing saying all this. So it will be next month as you watch this. Or maybe several months ago if you're watching this way in the future. In which case, hello from the past. So we'll see if we can fit some journal in July. A July journal, so to speak. We might finish off days 3 and 4 in one, or we might do 2, I'm not sure. And I have a few new ones I'm looking at recording. I want to get caught up on a few things, as I've been talking about. We're going to finish Liar, get caught up to where things are with some other VNs, and then introduce a few more and go back to Minotaur Hotel if you wonder about that one. I'm just taking a short break from that while I try and get caught up on things. And it's a long running series, so sometimes a break is good. But if you want to know more details, I do try, I should emphasize that, to give my patrons a bit of an update on what I planned for the month, which sometimes changes if things come out or things happen. But they are all on my Patreon from $2 Canadian a month. If you want to join up, you don't have to. Just watching the channel is good enough. But as always, I'd like to say thank you to my top patrons. They are Andy Peng, Aaron Fox, Bastian, Baker, Ryan Hall, Cobus Visser, Dissonance, Exact, Grizz, Harvey's Mouse Productions, Ade Corval, Evan King, Kartek, Matt Kenya, Mario Cervantes, Mohammed Al-Zamel, Omar, Rafu, Spiderling, Samuto, Tiger Cub, Nara Amaterasu. Special thanks to them, and thanks to all my patrons. You are very appreciated, as I keep saying, but I mean it. Thanks for watching, Journal, until we have a kind of shift in tone as we return to Burrows next weekend. Bye for now.